You're playing Diablo Immortal, you look down at your phone and you say, okay, there's an update coming in about 18 hours from now. Well, everything that's going to be in that update, we're going to be talking about here today because we're diving into the patch notes. These ones are in depth. This is a pretty big update coming, a lot of things, a lot of new events. We're recording this late in the evening on, Monday night, so this can drop right nice and early for you guys Tuesday morning. We have Seek Abundance in Tong Shi's Renewal. Some things that are worth noting here, and I'm not going to go through everything in respect of your time, but due to the upcoming holiday, we will not be releasing a content update in 2 weeks, and will instead release our next update in about 3 weeks from now. The update is a real firecracker, so without delay, let's dig in. So it's worth noting, and it's important that we kind of keep an eye on the dates that are being shared here. There will be a server maintenance starting on January 31st for the servers in the Americas, all right? After the maintenance is concluded, all items mentioned below will be live. So let's keep an eye on the dates, as we said. Here's the codex of everything that we're going to be discussing here today, and we're starting off with Tong Shi's Renewal limited time event. You can tell by the artwork, this is something very different looking than we've seen in the game before, which is exciting. Tong Shi, a god from the Xeon Pantheon, invites you to his renewal to call to bask in the fading glow of a finished year and begin the cycle anew and welcome a new year within open arms and optimism. I believe we have the Chinese New Year, and that's what a lot of this is revolving around. On January 31st, players can compete in up to 5 tasks a day to earn festive rewards such as Red Bag and CM. The 5 tasks to complete to get these rewards include dungeons, Elder Rifts, killing elite monsters, bounties. Those 4 are very easy. We do them already every day. And the 5th one is defeating King Jun, who becomes available to destroy on February 9th. So this seems like another kind of a boss, maybe something that like just kind of lands somewhere and we could go attack it, which will be cool. Completing these tasks earns you red bags and CM. There are no limit to the number of times you can complete these tasks for rewards, but there is a weekly limit to how many rewards you can earn, to a limit of 30 red bags and 100 CM each week that Tong Shi's Renewal is active. Now let's take a look at what we got right here. These red bags that we could send red bags to people, and it seems that the red bags, after you do send them, you get rewards like gems, rare crests, things like that. And you could send them to your clan or your friends, which is also very nice. I love that kind of stuff. It's just a way to bring people together, even though maybe you're probably just doing it for the gems, right? You can also see on the side, Alley of Blood. That's going on now. Infernal Knowledge, that's going on now. The Tong Shi's Renewal. Phantom Market, we're going to see coming back. And Howler Hunt. So they gave us a little bit of a little teaser here in this image. I should probably make it in the thumbnail, but I don't think it's going to. All right. Red bags are a celebratory Tong Shi's Renewal rewards that can be gifted to a friend or to your clan. Not only do you receive rewards when you open bags sent to you, but you'll also receive rewards for sending bags. Spread the blessings of Tong Shi's Renewal by sending and receiving as many bags as you can to get your friends you can get your hands on. Don't forget to claim a free red bag every day you log in from the Login Rewards tab within the event, which will not contribute to your overall limit. Completing daily event tasks can also yield CMs. Each time you contribute a CM, you'll receive a random reward: gold, scrap, dust, shards, or gems. Gems, huh? Nice. Turn in numerous CM will combine multiple amounts for the same reward. Example, if you turn in 10, you may receive 50 gold. Each CM turned in during the limited time event contributes 500 gold to Tong Shi's Trove. The Trove will grant double the gold deposited if it's claimed after February 17th. So it seems like you could deposit it and then take it out at a later date for double the rewards. Players can also receive rewards such as the Bound Legendary Crest and Spark Cask for logging in the following days: February 2nd, 3rd, 6th, 9th, 10th, 14th, 17th, 21st, and 24th. We log in every day. We're going to get these rewards. We log in every day. Jigoon, Eater of Mountains. Who is this? From the 31st of January through the 8th of February, band together with fellow adventurers and hunt down the fabled terror Jigoon, Eater of Mountains. While the hunt for Jigoon is afoot, you can complete a daily task that transports you outside the world of Sanctuary to locate signs of Jigen, which reward you with gold, scrap, and dust. Once Jigen has been found on February 8th, you'll be able to claim 3 rare crests and begin creating raids to fight Jigoon. Your first vanquishing of Jigoon grants 1 Telluric Pearl and 1 random legendary gem. That's actually pretty cool. I like that this isn't something that's just going to drop in the world, but that we're going to have to find with a group. It's like when you're in the library of Zoltan Kulle and you get some of those big things that you have to take down. I like that. That'll be something different to band together and to do together. Now, moving forward, we did talk about this wolf event. I put a whole video out on how it reminded me of a game called Identity V, which was an escape kind of game where you had to work together, mixed with an Among Us style gameplay. If you want to watch that video, I went in depth of what I thought this would actually look like, but now we're going to get a little bit of an overview of that as well, because we are getting it here in the United States as well. Essentially, what I learned from it is you have a team of 4, and then there's one hidden person within your team that is actually evil, that tries to take you down before you can escape or something like that. All right, so this is going on from the 31st through February 21st. Available at level 30 and above, you've been tasked with obtaining sacred energy from sacred wards and submitting it to the altar of purging located in the center of the map. During the march, one of the companions will become the Howler. All right, the Howler is going to be that wolf. The Howler is tasked with sabotaging their former companion's progress, using additional threats to their advantage to disrupt any progress made. Howlers can summon undead incursions and blighted sacred wards to cause chaos and sow the seeds of dissent from the shadows. Embodying the night terror of the Howler presents unbridled advantages, but those that can master their lunar urges will reign supreme. Howlers can instantly slay their nearest ally, but with this will reveal their true Howler form for several seconds. Subsequent kills create longer cooldown times, so feast on your companions wisely. So it seems that we're in like a crowd of good guys, and the bad guy needs to pop out, hidden, kill, and then cloak himself again. Pretty cool. Once slain, adventurer's corpse is located. A vote will be called to execute the adventurer suspected of the foul deed. Adventurers and the treacherous Howler win through different means. If the Howlers are executed successfully through a vote, the adventurers succeed in their grim task. Similarly, the Howlers manage to execute all adventurers, the night is theirs. If the sacred energy bar reaches 100% completion, the adventurers win. If the sacred wards are destroyed, the Howlers win. This is actually very much like Among Us for anyone that of you have played it. It's actually kind of cool that they're bringing in all these different game modes. Like we have the bullet hell survival mode that comes into the game. Now we have this. Just cool different stuff, mini games. Rewards are determined by how much you assist or deter your side's victory. Collecting and turning in sacred energy, participating in voting for fellow adventurers out, slaying adventurers as the Howler, and dealing with threats will contribute to your rewards. Fear the full moon and the stalwart companion, for the crimson reflected in the moon may be your own blood. I like this, and I like that they're actually making you participate. Your rewards are based on your participation. That's actually quite good, so we get less AFK stuff going on. All right, returning events. We have Trial of the Hordes coming back. That's the game mode. It's a PvPvE, where you are facing a bunch of PvE elements, as is your opponent. Whoever slays more quickly and efficiently gets an advantage and sends extra enemies to your other side. That's coming back from February 2nd through February 9th. All clans on deck, which is going to be here from the 3rd to the 10th of February, which is just you get rewards for doing things as a clan that you would normally do. More rewards for all. Fractured Plane is returning, and I believe this time there's going to be some different things with the Fractured Plane. We'll see that in a little bit further down in these patch notes, but that's going to be going on from the 9th through the 16th. I have to say, the Fractured Plane is probably one of my favorite game modes that keeps recurring back inside of the game. I just find it a lot of fun. The Hungering Moon is also coming back. That's just another way to get more rewards. You get that through doing dungeons and things like that. February 10th through February 17th. I always say with the Hungering Moon, even if you're not going to be utilizing the buffs that become advantage, that give you that advantage, just put them in so you can get the rewards, so you can spend the rewards on the actual things you want, the rewards. Don't save them for the extra crit bonus or anything like that. Just use them right away. We have Conqueror coming back, which is nice. It's another PvP game mode, which I have probably played the least out of all of them. So happy that that's going to be coming back. Wild Brawl also coming back. That is the PvP. It's straight up PvP Battle Royale inside of Diablo Immortal, February 16th through February 23rd. I'm telling you guys, I love how they're just cycling through all these events. Every month, and the events come back at least once, and you get to participate in all of these different events. It really keeps things fresh. I think they did a great job with this, and they're continuously doing that. Shady Stock is back, so we can get ourselves more rewards and more essentially secondary gear from the 17th through the 24th of February. And here we go. Rise to meet new challenges and returning events. Now, this is what I was talking about the Fractured Plane. That is pretty cool. Shens Renewal is one of many causes of celebration. Special modifiers will breathe new intensity and excitement into Conquer, Fractured Plane, Trial of the Hordes, and Wild Brawl events during the durations. 2 random modifiers from the list below will be in effect for each match, and all players in the match will experience the same modifiers. So we're going to have a list of all these modifiers that can happen, 2 of which will happen in the mentioned above events. And again, those were Conqueror, Fractured Plane, Trial of the Horde, and Wild Brawl. Chain Lightning, players' attacks call Chain Lightning. Frenzy, attack speed is increased. Rend and Tear, players' attacks cause the enemy to bleed for 3 hits. Holy Vengeance, players will explode with Holy Vengeance. Will to Survive, players take 5% reduced damage for every 10% life they've lost. It's a nice survival one. Hit and Run, every 5 yards, players move without stopping, increases skill damage by 10%. Well, that's pretty good for my Necromancer now, isn't it? Fleet-footed, player movement speed is increased by 20%. Love that. Pursuit of Victory, killing enemies grants 30% movement and attack speed increases for 2 seconds. Ultimate Overflow, players' ultimate skills charge faster. Shockwave, players' attacks have a chance to trigger a shockwave. Dirty Tricks, players periodically blind surrounding enemies. Terrified, monsters will flee in fear when damaged below 50% life. I don't love that one either. We have Sacrificial Power. Skills have reduced cooldowns but cost life. Ooh, would you sacrifice life for skill cooldowns? I don't think I would do that. No, I don't like that. Lookout. Monsters sense players more easily. Flurry. Players gain stacks of Flurry that increase attack speed when dealing damage to monsters. And Combo, activating the empowered skill refreshes its cooldown. All right, so that's nice little modifiers that we have here that are going to be part of game modes that we know and love. Again, they're bringing back game modes that we've seen, that we want to see again, and now they're adding modifiers to them to make them just a little bit different every time we see them. That's cool. We have a new Season 23 Battle Pass that's being shared. It's the Consumed. It looks like, honestly, it reminds me of like a Native American Overwatch look. I actually quite like it. This and the previous Battle Pass, they just look different than any others that we've seen. I do love like the dark and bloody and meat flesh type stuff, like the butcher with the flies off it. Like, they're awesome. But these are cool just because they're different, right? It's just something a little bit different from what we're used to seeing. So this one is going to be on February 15th. We're going to have the new Battle Pass. It's going to have 40 ranks. We know how the Battle Pass works, guys. The Battle Pass has gained value for no additional cost because now you can, instead of the Fervent Fang, you can get the other new gem. The name is escaping me right now. Or you could choose 2 Telluric Pearls, once in the beginning, once in the end, and once in the middle if you are a premium player. A $5 Battle Pass player, that is. When you think about it, what is that? 6 Telluric Pearls you can get per month just from that alone. Nice little progress that'll help us get our 5-star gems up. We also have Reigning Harmony, Phantom Market. Another cosmetic. Well, first of all, this cosmetic reminds me of like a Japanese MMO, which is not the kind of art style that I love. But again, because we have nothing like this in Diablo Immortal, I think it's cool. If this were what everything looked like in Diablo Immortal, I wouldn't think it was so cool. But because it looks like this, it actually is. Now, this is going to be going on from January 31st. And actually, they did not put an end time right there. So this is going to be happening very soon. And this is going to be the system where you can draw and you have to use your odds to get the skin. Now, I actually participated in my first one of these Phantom Markets last season. It was courtesy of Blizzard. Again, thank you guys. And there were 4 different cosmetic sets that I got along the way when I got to the final one. Now, with that being said, if you're doing this and you want to get to the final stages, it costs about $170. But with that $170, you're not only getting the big cosmetic set that you want, but 3 other cosmetic sets. At least that's what we were looking at in the last time around. We're going to look at exactly what we're getting here. Now you're going to get obols. Obols are what are used to spend to get this to actually work out for you. You can have a 60% chance for an emoji. Then you have a Indigo Armor cosmetic, a 15% chance. Howling Terror Jade, 15%. Reigning Harmony Portal, 3%. Bronze Warden's Chestnut Armor cosmetic, 2%. Howling Terror Indigo Weapon, 1%. The Howling Terror Jade Weapon, 1%. Bronze Warden Chestnut Weapon cosmetic, about 1%. Reigning Harmony Portal Ultimate cosmetic, about 0.5%. And Reigning Harmony cosmetic set, which is essentially this one that we're looking at right here, you have a 0.1% chance of getting that on your first roll. As your rolls go through over and over, your chances get better at getting this one. So it'll jump to like 0.2%, 0.4%, 0.6, 0.8. I don't know exactly what. I will say the odds are best that you get it last. That's just when you go and you're spending here. If you decide to spend money to try and get it, expect to spend $170 for that cosmetic. If that's cool and that's what you're up to, then that's great. I actually am still wearing my last Phantom Market cosmetic, and I absolutely love it. So you do what you want. It's your money. Make your choices wisely. And yeah, you'll be able to get some avatars and other things. So, okay, actually, I should probably read this in full. With the Reigning Harmony cosmetic set, you'll earn the Reigning Harmony avatar alongside of the Reigning Harmony kill streak, which surrounds your character with special effects when performing a kill streak or killing a Helliquary boss. These ephemeral treasure effects will be available for 30 days. This is something I don't love. With mine that I got from the past season, I had some really cool footsteps that would happen in the snow behind me, and then they would fade away. That was a 30-day addition to the cosmetic, and they could bring that back if they wanted another time. They can make it a reward for something in another time, but that was a temporary part of the cosmetic. The cosmetic's still awesome without it, but it was really cool to have it. I don't love that they put 30 days on these things. So these little extra tweaks to the cosmetic will only be available for 30 days. Who knows when they can bring them back, if they'll bring them back. Maybe they'll come back seasonal for people who own the cosmetics to make it special again. I don't know. The Lunar Splendor Phantom Gallery. This is the Lunar Splendor. It's a festive way for players to acquire legendary gems, crests, familiar contracts, and more starting on February 4th, server time, using Litra, a new currency exclusive for the Lunar Splendor Phantom Gallery. Players will purchase the ability to draw 1 item at random from the available item pool. There are 10 items in total, and each can only acquire once. Each time you draw an item, the cost of the next draw will increase. Performing 10 draws guarantees that you'll receive all available items in the pool, plus the Fireworker vendor contract, valid for 60 days. Look at these fireworks getting dropped right down there. Pa-pang, pa-pang. You know what I mean. Performing 10 draws guarantees that, plus the firework vendor contract, valid for 60 days, which summons a fireworks vendor that will follow you in a safe zone and launches your choice of fireworks. So additional cosmetic type stuff that's inside of the game for that. Players will earn additional rewards on draws 2, 4, 7, and 9. It's the Aberrant Darkling Vessel, 1,000 Eternal Orbs, Maw of the Deep, 5-star legendary gem, or a legendary 11, a legendary crest. So these are, it looks like some of the additional rewards that can be had. Let's get a little more details here though. Elytra can be purchased with Eternal Orbs, and any unspent Elytra will be removed once the Phantom Gallery event ends on the 25th. Because of the items of the Lunar Splendor Phantom Gallery are acquired randomly per draw, we can provide players with the initial draw rates for each item to aid in deciding if they'd like to engage with the event past the first free draw. So this is not a free event. This is another type of those draw odds gambling type things. It's fun, but it's definitely not for everyone. They give us one so that we can try it for free, just like the Phantom Market. This is very similar type thing to this Phantom Market. And the rewards that we can get right here for our spins: 2-star legendary gem, the Igneous Scorn. You have a 75% chance of getting that in your first roll. So they're basically giving you a free legendary gem right here because they're giving you your first roll. So the way that I see this, rather than saying, oh, they're making more ways for us to spend money, is I look at it and I say, oh, I can spend money if I want, or I can get myself some free rewards because the event is here. I'm going to use my free spend and see what I get. You can get a familiar contract, 22% chance. Legendary crest times 10, 2% chance. So honestly, these are the things that you have the best chance. It's actually going to be the first two. You're most likely going to roll and get 2-star legendary gem or a familiar contract. Either which, both hold value. Bound gem fragments times 30. 5-star legendary gem Maw of the Deep. A 5-star legendary Maw. Not a 2 out of 5. That's a 5-star legendary, I think. That's what it looks like right there. 5-star legendary Maw of the Deep. We'll see. We'll see if it's a 2 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. I get the feeling maybe a 2 out of 5, actually. Legendary crests, 15 of them. Masterworks gem chest, a different type of Masterwork gem chest. Greater Masterwork gem chest, and the legendary crest times 15. All right. Then we have the Mirrored Jewels Elder Rift enhancement. The Mirrored Jewels. Do you remember what this is? Do you guys remember what this is? Save your legendary crest, boys and girls, because right now you're going to be able to get double the legendary gems with the Mirrored Jewels Elder Rift event. This is huge. Listen up and don't miss this. I remember this well from the last time around. This is happening from February 9th through February 13th. During that time, you want to use 10 legendary crests all at once, just as shown right there on the screen, because you only get this once. There is an option to click right here that says Mirrored Jewels. When you click that, the gems that you're using will be doubled. So, available only once, additional legendary gem drops of the same type. So, if I go in there with 10 legendary crests, I will get myself 20 legendary gems, not 10. If I get 2 blood-soaked jades that drop, I'll get 4 blood-soaked jades that drop. If I get 10 1-stars, I'll get 21 stars. But this is an awesome event. It's giving you twice the value for your legendary crest. So right now, if you don't have a bunch of legendary crests, what I suggest you do, start saving up. Get as many free legendary crests as you can for the next week or so. Use them all, but make sure you click on the Mirrored Jewels event because you don't want to miss that opportunity and spend all your gems on all your legendary crests on the without getting the mirrored. Okay. Also, make sure you do the 10. If you only have 9, if you only have 7, that's fine. Don't just go in with 3. You're probably also saying, well, what if I go with the purple ones? Will I get all purple ones that I could sell, or are the mirrored ones going to be red? If you don't know the difference, the eternal legendary crests are the purple ones. They can be, any gems you get from those can be sold in the market. The red ones are the bound legendary crests. Anything that you get from that you can use and keep and use as food, but you can't sell it. If you put in 10 purple eternals, every gem that drops from that, from the initial drop, will be sellable, your first 10, but all the mirrored ones will be red and they will not be sellable. This could potentially be a good thing because if you were to have to sell everything, the market would be flooded with legendary gems and the values of things would really deplete. I'm honestly not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. I guess it depends on what kind of platinum you have to spend on legendary gems at that point in time. But this is huge. Make sure you participate in this. I'm not going to miss out on it. I'll make sure I remind you in upcoming videos too. So far, this is the biggest thing you don't want to miss from this incoming update. That's on February 6th. Don't forget. Feature updates. Familiars optimization. Previously, familiars were not picking up items or following players in a timely manner. With this update, familiars have had their movement speed adjusted to speed up when further away from the player. Good. And to slow down when they approach the player. Pickup speed for item drops has also been increased, which aimed in reduced player inconvenience in trying to pick up dropped items that have been marked by the familiar for pickup. So this is actually really nice because my biggest complaint on familiars was they were leaving stuff behind. Well, now they're not gonna anymore, or a little bit less. Actually, I think they buffed it already. I wonder if they're buffing it again now as well. Additionally, you can now decide how confrontational your familiar will be with Sanctuary's demonic hordes using the new attack and defense modes. Attack sets your familiar on proactively to seek out enemies to engage, while defend sets your familiar to only engage enemies that you're currently attacking. I actually like that. Reason being, if it's going out on its own, it's a rogue pet, it's going to go lash out on things that you may not want to engage with, or if you're trying to teleport back home, you won't be able to teleport because you're in action. So I would probably want to keep mine on defense mode. When the owner is being attacked, it defends. I need a drink. All right, thank you for being patient. Lastly, familiar stones have been further optimized, making them more effective in keeping the best skills and attributes on your familiar. That's when doing all the conversions and stuff. Familiar melding. When melding two familiars together, automatic recommendations will be shown to the player on the summary screen. The recommendation can either be accepted, or players can click and tap on the edit button to manually tune their selections. Once the player is confirmed that they're comfortable with these methods, they finalize the familiar will be shown and the meld will have been completed. This is good because melding, combining, converting, it gets freaking confusing. It really does. Familiars at the Grand Market. After listing a familiar at the Grand Market, it'll take a few hours before the listing appears to other players. I guess I've only sold 1 or 2 pets. And I guess that's true. I think they did become available right away to sell. For sale, I'm not sure. Familiar shop. A new filter option for traits has been added to the familiar shop menu. It is left of the displayed price for items. Funny thing is, I have never have I seen familiars in the shop. And now look at the familiar view right here. If you notice, we have your charm over your gear, but this is only 3 pieces of gear. So this is someone that hasn't even hit. Actually, they have hit the proper Paragon. Why is it sitting like that? There should be 4 pieces of gear up and down because it's Paragon 800, right? I think it's Paragon 800 when you open up the stance. I forget, it's been so long. All right, well, it looks like they're maybe reworking this a little bit, or maybe it's just during the familiar view. You can now see the details of another player's familiar by clicking or tapping on that player, navigating to their details menu, and selecting the familiar slot displayed from their layout. So that's right here, the familiar spot right there. I wonder if they're going to be changing all of our stuff or not. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out. New bounties. 13 new bounties have been added for the Ancient's Cradle Zone. Set out to rid Sanctuary of these vile threats and earn rewards. New bounties are great. I do bounties every day. 8 a day. I like new bounties. We're good with that. Challenge rifts. On the 19th, the upper limits of challenge rift lords will be increased from 500 to 550. Also, the difficulty of monsters on 481 to 500 will be decreased. Well, that's good because I am sitting a little bit below 500 right now. Things are getting a little bit monster difficulty too high. So there's no rush. In about 2 weeks, it'll get easier and I'll push on right through it. Actually, probably more like 3 weeks from now. What this means, we're going to get 50 new levels of Challenge Rift, which means 50 new levels of rewards, which means we could take those rewards. That's what we need. We need those crystals to upgrade our secondary gear. If you're someone that has not been upgrading secondary gear, because maybe you didn't even know about it, because I know I have a lot of new players in here, make sure that you do that. And you do that with the enigmatic crystals that you get from running your Challenge Rifts. That's why you run them. And for leaderboards, of course. Elder Rifts. When setting up an Elder Rift run, you can now determine which crests Which crest the Add 7 button prioritizes? To access these settings, use the Change Priority button located just above. This is actually really good because previously you could say prioritize rare crests over legendary crests for the bottom 7, but you couldn't prioritize if they were purple or if they were red legendary crests. So it would be sometimes difficult. It would seem to prioritize the bound ones, the red legendary crests. Seems like now we'll be able to go on a full 10 run with regular purple eternal legendary crests. Crusader's Sacred Fire skill. The visual effects associated with the creator's Sacred Fire skill have been optimized to better communicate to use. The skill remains the same though. All right. PC text chat. This is cool. A suite of quality of life improvements have been made to make text chat on PC more intuitive. I'll tell you, the chatting isn't difficult. Clicking on players though. If I want to click on a player and look at their stuff, I can't do it on PC. I'll put my mouse right over them and I can't click on them. Chat box text will now be selected with your mouse or keyboard shortcuts. Copying and cutting and pasting text is now supported. That's a great idea too. Pressing a tab button while in the chat box will now move forward through the list of available chats. Shift and tab will now move backwards through the list of the chat channels. Shift and R can be used to respond to your latest whisper. And the escape key will now deselect the chat box. All right, that's cool. A little bit easier there. And then we have some region-specific additions here. These are things that we may not or probably won't be seeing. Below, you'll find region-specific updates coming with this content update to the version of Diablo Immortal available in China. This doesn't affect us, but I actually like that they share it, right? There's only 2 things that we're not getting. All of those patch notes and information I was giving you earlier in the week from China is all coming to us here too. Now, this is a reason why we need to pay attention to those patch notes as well, because there's often good chances that we're going to see it either when it drops in China or shortly after it's tested in China. So pay attention to those videos as well. Familiar password lock. Players can now protect their familiar from being accidentally converted, melded, or renewed with a new password system. Currently, there's no plans to bring this to other regions. Honestly, I don't care. I don't need a password. I got the lock on the thing. I don't need a password too. It's fine. We're good. Survivor's Bane updates. Rewards will now be based upon kill count instead of combat duration. Variety of skills have been strengthened. In Endless Mode, players will see a menu option roughly every 12, 17, 22, and 27 minutes that gives them the option to exit and claim their rewards or to continue playing if they want to continue. The enemies will get stronger. We plan to bring these changes to all of the regions in the future content update. Once we receive more information, we'll let you know. So it looks like we will be getting these changes to Survivor's Bane eventually, but not the password lock. Actually, below you'll find the region-specific with this content update version of Diablo available. All right, it's not saying that they won't bring it to us over here, but this is a pretty big update. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff coming, and we're going to be seeing it very soon. Now you know. What are you most excited about? I know for me, it's going to be the Mirrored Jewels event, which is something small, but for me, it's 10 additional legendary crests. I want to know what you guys are excited about. Are you loving Diablo Immortal right now? And what class are you playing? I know you guys probably know that I'm back on the Necromancer. It's been a year, but I'm back to Necro, and I'm loving it.